I'm an independent, I don't want to join a party, and I shouldn't have to.
We have to open the primaries so that independents have full and equal voting rights.
People are forced to pick a party, and I think a lot of politicians are hearing complaints from their constituents about that.
The people should be able to vote in the primaries however they register.
It's saying that you are okay to pay taxes, but it's not okay to vote because you believe something differently.
I can't imagine us being able to call ourselves a democracy here. What are the parties, the two major parties, afraid of?
We need to open the primaries.
I feel disenfranchised that I cannot vote.
It really bothers me that I cannot vote in them.
Fix it.
This isn't working.
Lewis is only partly kidding about a fight. He wants to overturn the state's closed primary system, a system that excludes tens of thousands of independent voters from primaries. And he knows he's about to hit a nerve.
What you're saying is, I don't like the way America runs its political system. Well, if you don't like it, move to another country. Move to another country. Move to another country.
The number of voters who can't vote in a primary because they are not registered to a party has gone from 15 million to 27 million.
And yet we have closed primaries. It doesn't make any sense.
The parties have since convinced us that they own the primaries, but that's not their origin story.
Partisan primaries have become weaponized by the political extremes on both sides.
We're leaving out all of these folks who are desperate for their voices to be heard.
Closed primaries are the biggest voter suppression mechanism in this state.
Biggest voter suppression that there is in this country.
The right of every American to vote is one of the most fundamental rights in America.
These closed party processes are distorting everyone's political incentives and pushing our leaders towards more extreme points of view than most Americans actually believe.
Independents only got to vote in 22 Democratic and Republican primaries.
This is a system which clearly needs wholesale reform.
Open primaries would encourage more reasonable candidates.
Open primaries.
Open primaries.
Open primaries.
Political activists looking to shake up Arizona's election system.
Open primaries and ranked choice voting could completely change the election landscape in Nevada.
Montana's elections could look very different.
Proposition 1 will now move before Idaho voters on November 5th.
And make all votes count DC, a ballot initiative 83 on the ballot.
One of the most impactful ballot initiatives all Colorado voters will see is the open primary and ranked choice voting measure.
We are the people of Alaska. We have the right to vote for who we want to vote on that ballot.
Our political system is really underserving the greatness of our country.
If you want to have a healthy democracy, you want participation, particularly participation by people who want to vote.
What we have done today is a milestone. We have done a fabulous job of hitting every single county in the state of Idaho and getting support for open primaries.
Montanans for Election Reform ultimately argue that these two ballot measures will help reduce polarization in politics, less money in politics, and give Montanans candidates that more accurately represent their views and not the views of special interest groups.
Nearly 40% of Nevada voters are not registered to one of the two major parties. That's the largest voting bloc in our state.
There is a grassroots effort to change the primary voting system in South Dakota.
I can't think of a more important right for South Dakotans than the right to vote.
My voice is muted, so I feel that my voice needs to be heard equally as everyone else's voice.
When I realized that I couldn't vote in the primary, my reaction was, it's bullshit, and I'm going to change it.
I don't need anyone to tell me that I have to think either A or B.
Open up the primaries and let all voters vote! Let all voters vote! Let all voters vote!